Welcome to the Sales Acceleration Show, and today we're going to talk about a book. And the book is about a journey. If you want to start a company, you need to grow it, you need to find a market, and eventually you need to get money, and then you need to either go scale up or you need to sell the whole book. And for that, I've invited the author called Robin. Robin, explain to viewers what you do and how on earth did you get to this?
All right, so 2 years ago when I was a student in high school, I wanted to have my own company. But I realized that it's very hard to start your own company. You have to know the right people, the right network, and so on. So I started talking to experienced entrepreneurs, and suddenly I talked to like 20 people, successful entrepreneurs and investors.
Yeah.
And they told me so many valuable insights that I decided to write a book about it.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly, you had
yes.
50 names, I've seen 50 names of people.
Indeed,
that's
50
exactly
people,
me.
yeah.
Perfect. So you must have learned a lot. So you're here, I invited you on purpose so we could share some of this knowledge.
Okay.
So maybe we follow the chapters because that's going to be easy. So we start with the beginning.
All right, so the beginning, it all starts with a great idea. As a founder, you have a great idea, you want to solve a problem that keeps you awake at night. And you find some people, co-founders, that also want to work on this idea, but you don't have to have co-founders.
Yeah, that would be my first question.
Yes, perfect example, Inge Geerens, CEO of CV Warehouse. She's a single founder, single female founder, and she has gone through a great journey all by herself. So you don't have to need a co-founder.
Although I think most, if I look software companies, most of the time you have the more salesy type. Yeah. And then you have the product type. Yes. Because I never started a company because I never found my technical counterpart. Yeah. Right.
Yes. One valuable insight that I learned from this project, the great secret sauce is technical guy, sales guy, together, great combination.
If you're out there, find me. No, sorry.
Okay.
I'm a sidetrack here.
Okay, so
it is my show. I can say this stuff, right?
Yeah, it's true. So founding phase, we had it, ID, co-founders, and then you want to enter the second phase, entering the market. So now you want to listen to your potential customers who are going to buy your product. You want to discover their core needs and then develop a product that solves their needs. That's the focus on the second phase.
You are also going to validate that properly, because what I see a lot, people make something, they have an idea, an assumption, they make it, and then they go sell, and then actually they're way too late of testing the assumption.
Classic mistake. You first have to listen to the problem, then develop a product for it.
Is that where, because I was going through the book and I saw the word pivot several times, is that where the pivot moment comes? Or is that later? Or
later, because if you have an idea and you start developing a product and then you go to your customer, that's the moment to pivot, because you realize your customers don't want you to have your product. Yeah. That's why when you pivot, you listen to their needs again and then come up with a product.
Yeah. Okay.
That's very important.
So, started. Yeah. First customers, I suppose. Then what?
Okay. Then you have a few customers and you want to scale your business. So you enter the third phase, the scaling phase. You can choose to grow with or without investors. But if you do, it's very important to know what type of investors really exist.
Maybe elaborate a bit on.
Okay. So you have like many types of investors, but two types are business angels and venture capitalists. Yeah. If you want to grow with less than 500,000 euros, choose for the business angel. That's a guy who has been an entrepreneur himself, has a beautiful network,
individuals.
Individualist, yes.
You see sometimes groups of angels also.
They often, indeed, they all know each other, especially in Belgium, it's very small country.
Very small.
But if you need more, you want to kickstart your sales and marketing machine, you want to go to venture capitalists.
What's the danger there, or what's the good and the bad?
The good and the bad. The good is, venture capitalists are funds that have like tens or hundreds of million euros ready to invest in your startup or scale up. But they also want to have profit from it. Yeah. So you have, as an entrepreneur, you have to be able to triple or just triple the value of your company within a few years to pay them back.
And they'll actually make sure they sell the share. I mean, it's very clear in these contracts.
You don't have to sell your company, just make sure that your valuation increases so that,
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, good. Okay, so you're working with investors or not, and you're expanding your company, going international, and then...
With question here.
Okay.
Should I stay local? Because the logic is get your base right, so you have some extra cash, then start expanding.
Yeah.
But you, before we had this point, he said, I'm actually in favor of immediately pushing for expansion.
It depends on two things, the entrepreneur itself and the situation with the venture on its own. I have met a lot of entrepreneurs. Some were successful by starting in Europe and the US at the same time.
Which is tough because you do a stretch straight away.
Yes, it's very hard. It's very
and
hard.
there are different markets.
But you can also be successful if you start in Belgium, then go to the Netherlands, Germany, and so on. So,
although Belgium is and remains for our foreign viewers a special place because we have like 3 mini countries in one, and it's one big mess. I see so many companies on the Flemish, the Dutch-speaking part, not selling to French, but then they go to France, and I'm like, what the hell? Wouldn't you even try within a country?
But
then that's typical Belgium, right?
Yeah, indeed.
So if you can deal with that, you can deal with Germany, France, and all the others.
Indeed, that's true. So you're growing, and then suddenly you're growing so fast that some bigger companies come to you and offer you an acquisition. They want to acquire you.
I'm going to stop you there for a second, because I also see in that phase, absolutely, but you also have it in the early phase. Most of the time, your first customers want to buy or get a big share, and I'm not in favor of that. Because it will limit you, whatever, and they kill out all competition and they take a monopoly.
Why do they do that? That's one type of the many different types of acquisition. That's an acqui-hire. They want to acquire an early stage company. Why? Because of those small team of founders or first employees have specific knowledge, and that specific knowledge that a big company doesn't have. So that's why they want to pull it in their company. So that's very important.
I interrupted you. So big company comes back, says, I want to hire.
Okay, so you're in the last fourth phase. Do I sell my company or do I keep on growing?
And you acquire. Because I'm guessing there is no other way. You need to start eating. And
you don't necessarily have to, but you can keep on growing through acquiring your own companies. So that's one way to do it. Or if you're not able to become the market leader, you can also sell to the market leader. So that's a very important decision you have to make as an entrepreneur.
So you've talked to all these people, you've written the book. What's the conclusion now? What's the one thing you say, guys, really take care of that? Or
the conclusion is preparation in every phase. Keep your focus on every phase on the right challenge every time.
So really the difference between the micro and the macro, get the balance right.
And that's why we divided the book into 4 different phases, so you can have a clear overview, okay, what do I need to focus on in which phase? And the funny thing is, people, starting entrepreneurs that are reading the book, when I talk to them, the first thing they say is, oh, hey Robin, I'm in phase 2. So that's really, when I hear that, I'm like, okay.
So when you talk to people, you say, you're phase 3.
Yes. Or I just ask them, which phase are you in?
Phase 0?
Yes, indeed. So that's the main conclusion of the book. Focus and preparation.
Perfect. So kids, focus and preparation. If you like what you've heard, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for a lot more. Robin, it was a pleasure. But before we go, where can we get the book?
You can buy the book on startupsurvival.com, and you can also download your own free poster with a clear overview of the 4 different phases that you can hang up in your bedroom or co-working space or whatever.
Fantastic. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thank you.